everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
Yo, this is not laziness. This is the economy falling apart. A record 25 million adults live with their parents, and roughly 70% of them ages 25 to 34 are employed full-time. So that whole they just don't want to work argument is dead. People are working, people have jobs, some got degrees, some work full-time, a lot work overtime. And they still can't afford rent, a car note, groceries, and basic everyday life necessities. That means the problem is not motivation. That means that the problem is wages aren't matching up to the cost of living. And then they got the nerve to call people moochers for staying with family when half the time they helping with bills, groceries, and utilities while still trying to save up enough money to leave. And at some point, we really got to sit down and admit that having a job does not mean you can afford to live anymore. So my question is this: how are young folks supposed to build a future when the cost of independence keep moving further and further away?
All right, well, I can tell you, I've had to move back in with my mother, so hey, you move in so you can save, and if you're helping your mother, then that's good. But at some point you have to figure it out, and you have to lower your standards if you want to have that independence that you are seeking, but you say you can't afford it. But there's a way you can afford it. Even by getting a roommate. Getting a roommate is not the worst decision ever, but sometimes it's not worth it to get a roommate. Honestly, you might as well just stay at your parents' house if that's the case.
This is wild, and I want to make sure you don't miss it. We all know that Donald Trump said, on day one, I'm going to get prices down for Americans, right? Look at what's happening now. This is a brand new poll from The Guardian. It just came out today. Half of Americans struggle to afford groceries and gas. Half of Americans. Guardian calls this a grim portrait of cost of living crisis and says that about 57% of polled Americans also believe the economy is worsening, because it is. The poll also says that 95% of Americans now believe the U.S. is suffering an affordability crisis. 95%! And this is not just Democrats, y'all. Pessimism about the economy has increased for all Americans of all parties. Look at that, just whoop, for everyone. In February, 22% of Republicans said the economy was getting worse. Now that's up to 38% of them, of Republicans. Then they asked people whether they thought jobs in their area were disappearing. Look at rural Americans. 41% of them say good job opportunities in their local area are disappearing. By the way, when it comes to rural Americans, 64% of them now say the economy is getting worse, compared with 46% who said that in February. And again, look at these specific numbers. The percentage who responded they are having trouble affording gas, 52%, groceries, 51%, loan payments, 46%, utilities, 46%. Oh, and don't forget, half of those polled said they're struggling to afford their debt, including student loan debt. This is the economy after a year and a half of Donald Trump and the Republicans in full control. But don't worry, because Donald Trump is on the job, if you consider the job building a new helipad on the White House lawn.
Beautiful helipad. And it's got the seal of the White House on it, in granite, in carved granite. It's really a beautiful thing.
A beautiful thing, he says. But as for this, oh well, he doesn't have an opinion about it at all, because as far as he's concerned, it's not true, it's not real, and your struggles are fake news. And if you're not mad about that, you should be extremely.
Donald Trump actually did come out and say he don't really care about he don't care about what Americans are struggling with, because the economy's doing great. The Dow Jones has hit record numbers it hasn't even hit before. The stock market is up. Okay, the stock market isn't helping everyday Americans, but go off.
I'm a mother with 3 kids, and I can only afford a 1-bedroom apartment for all 4 of us. Let me show you where we sleep and how I make it work. And don't call the police on me. I'm doing the best I can. So basically, this is the living room area. This is the dining room area. I do have to get my table that's coming later today. But this is a drop-down bed, futon table. My back camera is shit, so I'm sorry if you can't see that. That flips up and that goes down. It's really comfy. It's thick. It's not thin. One of the kids lay there. I do have a wraparound couch. And no lie, I probably sleep on that most of the time. One of the other little kids may lay right here, and I will probably lay right there. A bedroom, I have a king size bed. Most of the time, both my boys do lay in this. It's pretty big. You can fit a whole bunch of people on it. But this is how we make it work, and I just wanted to share that with you and a part of my life. So don't be ashamed if you're living with multiple people in a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment. Life is set up like that, and we make it work.
Man, literally, people are in the comment section. This woman in the comments says, "This is my son's bedroom in my closet. We do the best with what we have." And it's not a bad setup. He looks to be a toddler, right? Another woman says, "Oh my God, I just moved and had to do the same. Not fully set up, but it works." She got a whole like futon bed thing in the closet. But if you got a closet that damn big, how much house do you have? That's crazy. But, you know. Somebody in the comments says, "Why didn't you get a triple bunk bed? Amazon has nice ones. In the bedroom, you take the ones in the bedroom and you take the living room." Oh, I don't know. Anyway, she said, "Because this works and bed was free." Honestly, whatever works for these people. Like, you can it's funny how people try to question the things that you do when you do. If you want to bring people in your life, that's perfectly fine. But then you open up the doors for silly people who want to tell you how to dictate your life, and you're literally sitting here telling them, "I'm so broke, I can't afford to have multiple bedrooms. So why would I have money to afford multiple beds?" It don't make sense. But I'm telling you, some people just be living in la la land.
Everyday people.
Day and night. For some women, it can start working in as fast as 1 week.